Hello and welcome to the Superhero Hub. I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
And today we're reviewing
The Walking Dead.
season whatever, premiere. I think it's season 7, right? This episode is called A Mercy. So yeah. We got going, you know what I mean? If I was to put it into words. We got the really batty rallying speech. I didn't really care about that.
Rick's was fine. The other two didn't need to pipe up.
Oh well, of course I did.
Of
course I had to. Don't know why, but they had to.
I'm slightly confused. Does Maggie run her own group?
What? My question is, what's going on with her pregnancy? Because I swear she was pregnant, and I ain't seen no kid yet, and she doesn't look pregnant, so I don't really know what's going on.
I don't know. It's always hard to gauge how much time actually goes by in this show. Anyway,
literally, I have no idea. So everyone's kind of, they're getting their cars all boarded up, and that's what at the Hilltop. I think because that stupid old man who we see later on,
Sander Berkeley.
Yeah, and I'm not saying stupid old man because of what he does. I just think he's a stupid old man in general from what he's done in the past. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh my god, what a waste man, but I knew he was a waste man beforehand. So yeah. Basically, they're getting all armoured up, they're making weapons and stuff, they've got their guns, they've got everyone rallied behind them, and then, it's just literally they're putting their plan into motion, and that plan being, I guess, luring a horde of walkers towards the sanctuary, because really, I thought they were doing lots of different stuff, and I was thinking, oh, this is going to be from all angles, you know what I mean? But it was all literally like them just getting the horde, luring them different people at different places to just lure the thing.
Yeah, and it was kind of cool. It was cool what they were getting up to, but it was ultimately killing a load of red shirt. One they killed is utterly irrelevant, really.
Yeah. So they're systematically taking out the guards at different points.
Mm-hmm.
And then driving up the cars. Tara was annoying me chewing that red thing she had in her mouth. She was being too cool. She hasn't got the street cred to be that cool. For some reason they left Michonne behind. I understand what it is. What one thing they leave Carl behind as well, but they take the young girl who I can't remember her name is with them. Do you know who I mean?
No.
Like the young girl, like the teenager with them. She's there with her blammer, and I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, well, Carl missing an eye ain't really a disability, you know what I mean?
You see, what confused me about Carl, and maybe that's because I missed a couple of years and a couple of years that you were watching, so maybe you can inform me what changed with Carl. But you had that scene, right? Where he's in wherever it was, at a parking lot or a
gas station,
right? And there's that dude spouting on.
Yeah.
And then Rick comes along and he shoots in the air, and he makes the point of, I was shooting in the air, but you can see Carl was kind of angry that he shot anyway. What confused me is, from what I remember, Carl would have shot that guy himself.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe... I don't know,
because that's why I remember them taking his character down. He was this dude who was going to be. This is the kind of kid you need to be in this world. He's going to shoot someone without a second thought because it's a danger. And now he's getting mad at Rick because he's shooting in the air. I don't understand why he suddenly became this pacifist.
Yeah, I don't know either. I think maybe after he got his eye took out, he became kind. My confusion was who was that guy talking to? Because I was confused who he was actually talking to, because he was on the side of about 10 other cars, and I was like, is he talking to someone else or is he actually talking to Carl? And
I got the impression, I could be wrong, I got the impression he was talking to Carl. like the setup was he saw Carl and he was scared and he was just sprang.
I'll take your word for it. Yeah, because I was confused. So you had that, and I guess in some respect, Rick was right because like if he was a spy or something like that, it all would have kind of gone up in the air. So you've got to look to that, and then the kid ends up bringing him food anyway.
Yeah, Rick was right, but this is what I mean. It's like around the time, last thing I remember really of Carl was when I think they were at the prison, and there was that guy who maybe was threatening Carl to shot him dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Carl, I don't know. I think it's ever since Negan showed up, he's kind of mellowed out a little bit, in my opinion.
See, if I was Rick, I'd discourage that.
Yeah. So, you had that, and really not much. I mean, not much else really happened. You know what I mean? To be honest.
No, it's weird though, isn't it? Because I kind of liked the episode, but I did sit there when he got to the end and realised nothing really did happen.
No.
And I know there was a point where Rick and the gang were outside Negan's place and Negan came out. I can't even remember what happened. Did they get into a gunfight or at all?
He come out with his boys, and then Rick was like to his lieutenants, look, he named them all and was like, look, you can come live with us after this and stuff like that if you just allow it.
Right, but not the other dude.
Yeah, and I guess they wanted to kill Negan, and then
your man that you like piped up, didn't he?
What man?
Eugene.
Oh yeah, Eugene's the best character in the show, hands down. I've said that for years. No, yeah. Then you had Jeffrey come out. I think that's his name. And like is like, oh yo, the Hilltop stands with Negan, and then Jesus is like, allow it mate, it stands with Maggie. So I guess Maggie will take over the Hilltop after all this, because I guess she's kind. She's a good leader. So yeah, and then they're like, no one's on it, and then Simon gets pissed off and dashes him down the stairs. Well, I imagine he dashes him down the stairs. I mean, he must have. I can only imagine it being 3 steps, but he just dashed him off. And then Rick starts counting down. He only gets to 7 and starts firing off hot licks, which were way high. Then everyone started shooting at the glass, which I couldn't work out why, because I was thinking, oh, they're going to shoot out the glass maybe for absolutely no reason other than to dash some grenades through. Because, I mean, they'll be screwed then if you're dashing grenades in there. But I think, I guess, to attract the horde that was already on the way. Because I'm sitting there thinking, why are they shooting the glass? I couldn't work it out. Other to, like, make even more noise. Even though I don't think the sound of shattering glass is going to kind of outstrip gunfire. So I was really confused why they were shooting the glass. But I guess they'll be like, oh, to attract the walkers. So whatever. And then everyone kind of got into a mad frenzy and ended up leaving when the horde turned up. So I guess they were like, look, let's have the building surrounded so they're screwed. They've got food in there and stuff like that, so it's not really that big of a problem. So, like, really, I guess Rick and the gang are kind of hoping that somehow the walkers get in there. And then it's, like, going to be a jamboree. Then Gabriel's about to dip off. And then... No, Gregory, that's his name. Not Jeffrey. Yeah, and then Gregory kind of, like, pops his head up. And then Gabriel, being a man of cloth, decides to go save him. And then they're hiding, and then Gregory stands up and manages to dodge every single bullet. I was like, he's guaranteed to get popped. Dodges every single bullet, gets in the car and drives off, so Gabriel's screwed. And then he ends up running into, like, it's kind of like an outbuilding by itself, because I was confused really how the hell Negan got in there, because when it panned out you could kind of see that the building wasn't connected to anything else, and I was like, that's a completely different place to where Negan ran into. So I'm like, how the hell did he alone end up in there? So that was a really there was a lot of kind of like, it's like, oh, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? If they didn't pan out, I might have believed it was part of the complex, but they panned out and it was like alone. Then you had all the walkers like surround everything. So yeah. No, it's like, if it was Daryl stuck in there, it might have been a big thing. But it's like, I think maybe because you had Gabriel try and save that guy, people were like, oh yeah, he's a cool guy, and he got mugged off and now we're screwed over. But still, it's just Gabriel. Like, no one cares.
Daryl's stuck in there, you know he's going to be fine. At least you know there's the possibility this dude could die.
Yeah, I mean, but really the only like thing, if like Negan mullered him and then started throwing bits of him out to like get the walkers away, you know what I mean? Like, just take off a hand and like open the door a crack and dash your hand out and hope it kind of draws them away, and then keep doing that until you can kind of walk off.
Sure, sound like a plan.
Yeah, I mean, that's really all he can do if he's going to kill him. Or he could just whack him and then wait, but I don't really know. It's Gabriel. I mean, if it was Maggie or something like that.
Yeah, but then they're not going to kill pregnant Maggie either, are they?
No. It was like, it's like a kind of, I guess, a C-list character. But like, ultimately, it's just like, oh, why couldn't you just pick someone else? Like, slightly better. To be like...
Yeah, but I mean, like, realistically, who would that be?
I don't know.
So who's better than him that might actually possibly be in danger? That we'd believe it.
Maybe Tara.
Is she better?
Well, I think because
they're about the same level, aren't they?
I'd say because she's a girl, it might be a little sadder. You might be, oh, not her, because you ain't seen him kill a woman yet. So, I mean, that's the kind of thing you're waiting on.
Though you could argue, kind of, I mean, technically he didn't kill her, but he is the reason that What's-Her-Face died. He popped up in Star Trek now.
Oh, yeah, Sasha. Yeah, I guess so. So, yeah, basically, it's kind of like people who read books and look at the pictures. It was kind of like that in the sense that, like, nothing happened, really, but there was, like, visually, it was popping off, so you kind of felt like a lot happened, but really it didn't. You know what I mean? It jumped from scene to scene.
It was fun. There was some cool zombie stuff in brief. There was I don't suppose we went to know where he was, but the bloke who shot himself and then fell down, and the zombie started eating him. There was a cool one with Rick, where I guess he had one of the saviors and then cut the zombie loose and it went up and started mullering the guy. Yeah, you're right. It kind of passed me by. It flew by. It was alright. I had a good time watching it, but when it got to the end...
Because I was checking the time, because for some reason I thought it was going to be like a 1.5 hour episode, but I looked and it was only a 40-minute one.
Thank God for that as well.
45-minute one, and I was just sitting there and I was just like, oh, okay then. Well, because I thought a lot was going to happen. I thought there was going to be, but I think this whole maybe first part of the season is going to be like a slow burner all the way up to I think it's going to be highly intense. There's going to be there's like a lot of the episodes are going to be like this, because now they're going to like what they're going to it's not like they're going to go back home and then like hope the walkers killed all of them. I mean, they're going to have to hang around and wait for the dust to settle and then pick off then. I mean, they wasted hella bullets. Another thing as well, it kept switching in between. You had I'm going to call it Old Man Rick. You know what I mean? Because that's what
Yeah.
they didn't care about that, but they're making a big deal about. They showed him in the very near future, do you know, where he had red eyes and stuff like that. So obviously something's gone wrong and has kind of been captured again.
Is there are we meant to read something into Another One Bites the Dust, but with different lyrics for that? Another one. Is that something to do with that, or?
I didn't even notice that. No.
Yeah.
So the way I look at it, I know because it looked like he'd been crying. So like I figure he gets captured again, but really, in terms of time, it's really about time frame. Because you know, after this, after All Out War, there's a time jump, like about 2 or 3 years in the future. So nothing.
You mean in the comic books?
Yeah. So I'm wondering, is this gonna take it up to the mid-season, and then there'll be a time jump, and then obviously the next part of the season will be like the fallout of this? Because I mean, it could follow the comic books then, but if they drag this out for a whole season, I don't know. I think it'd work better if they keep it concise and tight, and then do the time jump, because there's still a, because even after this, even after like what happens with Negan, there's still like big storylines that pop up. So this ain't the be all and end all, but yeah.
The time jump would be interesting. I think it can solve some of their problems. You know, like this Maggie thing. You're right. They definitely don't want to be showing Maggie pregnant, do they? They don't want to do that, obviously. So, Jumplet should fix that problem. Also, can address some stuff with Carl, because clearly that kid's older, but it seems like they don't want to put a time frame on how old he is exactly. So you do a time jump. There you go. He can be older, and they don't have to worry about it.
It develops if I do remember from my knowledge of the comics, it does kind of develop a couple other character storylines in the main group as well.
Okay.
So yeah, but you know, if you're a big fan of the show but you can't be bothered to read the comic books, so you don't know what happens, then I ain't gonna spoil it for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're just not a bigger fan of the series if you ain't been bothered to read the comics at any point. So yeah, not you. I'm saying in general to people.
I'm not a big fan of either.
Yeah, so I'm not really gonna drop like plot points. I mean, if it does go the way it does in the mid-season finale, I'll drop some stuff. But really, I'm not gonna go out my way. Let's talk numbers.
Yeah, like you were saying, this was a weird one. I thought I'll give it a 7.5. I thought it was alright. I liked it. Like I say, it sailed by. But then once I got to the end, I kind of sat there and tried to when we're going to review, and realised there's not much to talk about.
No.
What confused me, I didn't think it was bad, but what confused me is this is a premiere, and B, the 100th episode of the show.
Yeah.
This is the 100th episode of the show, and fuck all happened.
Yeah. Well, as you said, it's kind of visually a lot happened, but just nothing plot-wise happened.
Yeah,
so
it's the fun what when you're sitting back talking about the show, 5 years from now, ain't no one gonna remember this.
No.
But whatever.
Yeah. Maybe they were just saving their money because they're planning for big things. Even though
Maybe.
I can't imagine big things happening. But yeah, it was a fuel for speculation, because like now what are they going to kind of do now? Because for the next episode, I just imagine them like sitting in their cars and like, picking off people who run out and waiting for the zombies to clear off. Because I mean, if they go back, it's like that's a bit of a, you know what I mean? Because they don't really know what's happened, so they have to account for everyone in the building, so they've got to hang around. It's just going to be awkward. They're just going to be pacing on rooftops waiting for the dust to settle. So it's a kind of, I don't know, or maybe it'll be completely different to that. I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
I'll see you next episode.